The Border Gavaskar Trophy has begun, and it hardly took any time for the first controversy to come out. So KL Rahul was probably India's only batsman who was looking good enough to handle the Pacers, and he was dismissed on 26 out of 74 balls. A solid innings at the start, but that was a controversial decision that led to his dismissal. So the decision was that Mitchell Starc bowled KL Rahul out, and KL Rahul, the ball basically passed just near the bat. That's what the debate is. DRS was taken after player review, and the decision was quite controversial. In the words of the commentator Mark Nicholas, there wasn't any conclusive evidence to overturn the on-field decision. Matthew Hayden explained what had happened, that the ball had already passed the edge when the bat hit the pad. He asked, does the snicko pick up the sound of the bat hitting the pad? And similarly, Wasim Jafar also said that the third umpire had another angle which wasn't provided, and he assumes that he wasn't sure, so he should not have taken that call, and the on-field call should have stayed. So I have with me Rohit to discuss this. Rohit, what do you think? What happened, and was the decision fair?
So just for our audience, let me sum up what exactly happened, what we saw on the screen. So Mitchell Starc bowled to KL
Rahul.
KL Rahul's bat and ball, even on TV when I was watching, it was quite a big TV, but still I think I was getting not a view not better than the on-field umpire, I'm assuming, but still you could see that the bat and the ball, they were separated by quite a distance.
Yeah, quite a lot.
And when KL's bat flow, with his bat flow, you could also see his bat hitting the pad. Quite obviously, while watching the live cricket. I don't know why umpire referred it to the third umpire in the very first place. So he shouldn't have given it out. It wasn't out. Then it was a player review, and then the third umpire. I don't know what kind of hurry was there.
There was a lot of
so within seconds rather, within 30-40 seconds, they come up with the decisions without looking at various angles. While during the same commentary, the commentators were there and they were experienced international players. They could see and show us that the distance between bat and ball was quite obvious. So that is one part of it. Human error can happen, but then the technology is there to negate the human error.
And technology is there to get it right, not get it wrong.
Right. And Australian, the third umpire was in some kind of hurry for no reason.
Exactly.
And so every time India visits Australia, there is this talk of Australian umpires and the field staff and everyone being biased towards one certain country. It's very obvious there. It's very obvious there. And not just this, even the rules, cricketing rules, the third umpire rules say something else. So I don't know why they did not go for another angle. But just one angle they explored, and they were in some kind of hurry to declare this an out.
Absolutely. And what we saw on the television visuals, there wasn't any conclusive visual. In fact, the only visual where there was seemingly the ball touching the bat was a side visual, which is never conclusive.
Also in Australia, where ball's speed, any fast bowler's delivery gains at least 4-5 kilometer extra pace after hitting the deck. So even then, you should have reached out for balls seam position, whether it is changing or not, where is the shiny side. They did not go for anything. Even in the close-up, we did not see any probe of looking at the shinier side. So I think it was a very hurried and KL's inning was very important for India, because KL is one batsman who has scored in all Sena countries. And he could have been that man who could have taken India to 250.
You could have anchored India, and Rishabh Pant was there.
Rishabh Pant was there, Nitish Reddy was there. So India eventually made 150, but it could have been 250.
And KL and Rishabh were both the top scorers of the innings, and if they would have been able to build a partnership, probably things would have been different. So I'd also want Rohit to discuss this issue in depth about this DRS controversy. So DRS controversies, we've been seeing controversies for quite a while now. For years, this has been happening in some decision or the other. So as for our viewers, we delved into the ICC rules. So as per ICC rules and regulations for test match playing conditions, Appendix D is the place where new rules about DRS are enumerated. So there's a section 3 which deals with player review, and it carries a specific section 3.3 which is basically the process of consultation during a player review. So now there are 4 clauses out there which are very important. We'll also highlight them on the screen for you.
If you could explain one by one.
Absolutely. So the first clause says that despite the available technology, the third umpire is unable to decide with a high degree of confidence that the original on-field decision should be changed, he should report the replays as inconclusive. This is something similar what Matthew Hayden said,
right,
that these are inconclusive.
So one technical aspect of it is that if the third umpire rules anything inconclusive,
which
means the entire debate will start happening on it again, which means on-field umpires and every experts will also be involved, which means there is a better chance of getting the right decision.
Precisely. So the third umpire shall not give any answers conveying likelihoods or probabilities. Now I think this is very important because likelihoods and probabilities can change games.
The course of the game.
Exactly.
In fact, the series for that matter.
And it's actually unfair to the players as well as the audience and all the stakeholders if there are decisions that are not 100% accurate from the technology's point of view. Because technology is not supposed to leave it in ambiguity or get it wrong.
Technology is there to clear the ambiguity. It is not there to add extra ambiguity.
And if technology is getting it wrong, then I don't know what is the solution. Can the human again come in and get it right?
Now, so what I understand from this whole facade that they have created, especially during this decision, is that when there was a player review for this decision, so what they could have done is that they could have taken time at least. So look at it from various angles, and if you don't have any inconclusive decisions, then you go back to on-field umpire and involve them also.
Exactly.
So why can't you do that?
Absolutely. So this is what the other point also mentions here. What we can read is in circumstances where the TV technologies are not able to provide, for whatever reason, conclusive evidence to the third umpire, he has to convey facts and advise the on-field umpire about the relevant factual information that he is getting, and the decision stands with the on-field umpire.
And in such cases, most of the time, benefit of doubt goes to the batsman.
Exactly.
Especially in this case, it could have benefited the batsman who was anyway on the right foot.
Exactly.
Not literally, but in terms of justice.
Exactly. And now finally the point I am going to discuss, I think this is equally important, 3.3.9, which says the on-field umpire shall reverse his or her decision if the nature of supplementary information received from the third umpire leads him to conclude that the original decision was incorrect. So there's also a big question whether the information was given as supplementary information or as decisive information. So Rohit, finally, before we close this discussion, I would want you to shed some light on these 2 points. What constitutes as conclusive information, and the other point, which is an interesting point, is there is a detailed list of different types of decisions and circumstances for leg before wicket, LBW decisions, when it comes to player review. But the appendix and the playing conditions for ICC do not have anything with regards to caught behind or similar decisions. So should there be more regulations coming in, and is DRS up for a debate again?
DRS is definitely up for a debate. Let me answer your second question first. It is definitely up for a debate, especially after this decision. And I remember when Sachin Tendulkar used to go to Australia and a ball hit
that was a very famous decision.
So very famous decision. But there was conclusive evidence on part of Steve Buckner, the umpire.
Exactly, the on-field umpire.
Because the DRS or whatever, what did you call it? The ball tracking thing. So it showed the ball hitting the stumps. But today there was no such thing. In fact, if you put a scanner or if you put a magnifying scanner on that ball in particular, you would have seen there was a difference of at least, I'm assuming 2-3 inch. So that way DRS, the third umpire, the human error, I think ultimately it will all go to human error, and unexperienced umpires rather, especially in terms of caught behind or caught in the slip. So I think they should make more technology assisted umpiring now.
Exactly.
So before it becomes too late and India gets hammered due to these decisions.
Absolutely. And I think we'll conclude this by saying India is not in a good position. talking about the BGT's first test, they were out for a meager 150, and this decision would have has certainly played a role and will be debated for a while now. But also, we'd like to conclude by saying that ICC's decision review system, the rules are still have a lot of scope for improvement and more complex rule making, regulations making.
I'm just adding one thing to it. If you are going for technology for DRS, then technology should be given some time to explore different angles.
Precisely.
What's the point of using technology if ultimately it's instinct of a human?
Yeah, and there's the perception around human versus technology needs to change, because technology should be supporting us in taking the right decisions, not taking us towards the wrong decisions. And this is very important for cricket. Thank you, you guys were watching DNA. I was Chitresh with Rohit, and we'll be back with more such reviews.